Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Big Akar Ahmed. Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be going ahead and talking about the ceasefire that has gone ahead and taken place last night at around 3 o'clock in the morning last night, Eastern Standard Time. Lebanon and Israel had gone ahead and signed a ceasefire. And this ceasefire is supposed to go ahead and stop what is going on between the IDF and Hezbollah as far as these strikes that are going back and forth with each other, blowing up pagers, blowing up the middle of Beirut, destroying and completely moving everyone from South Lebanon all the way up to the North Lebanon. So they have gone ahead and signed a deal to go ahead and stop that. I don't know how long this deal is going to last. I personally don't believe it'll last too long. But people are excited about this. They see this as a step in the right direction, and that's fine. It is a step in the right direction. Not bombing each other is always a step in the right direction. But is that going to solve the issues that started this whole entire thing to begin with? Is Israel going to stop blowing up Gaza? Because that's what started with Hezbollah, was how Israel is destroying Gaza, and Hezbollah stepped in. So I would like to really see how Israel shifts from this point on with the Palestinian people, more or less than with the Lebanese people. Even though I'm Lebanese, it affects my own people, it affects my properties, it affects my family. But at the same time, like, what got Lebanon into this mess was Palestine, was Gaza, was what Israel was doing to the Palestinian people. So if that doesn't stop, then I don't really see the point of this ceasefire, and I don't really see it going anywhere. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out some clips and see what the news has to say, see what Benjamin Netanyahu has to say about the ceasefire.
It will depend on what happens in Lebanon. We keep a whole freedom for military freedom, and if Hezbollah will rearm itself, we will attack. And it will, if he'll fire missiles, if he puts trucks with missiles, we will attack. And I know it's been said that once we agree on a ceasefire, we won't be able to do it. But I remind you, this is exactly what we've been told when we have a ceasefire with Gaza in order to bring back hostages, our hostages. They said we will not be back fighting. And we did, big time. They tell me Hezbollah will keep quiet for a year or two, and then they will attack. But Hezbollah will finish the ceasefire in order to shoot at us in the future. And we will react for any such thing. I know that many do not believe we will do it, but many didn't believe we will go on the ground in Gaza and Shifa and Khan Yunis, and we did. And in front of all the international pressure to enter Rafah and Philadelphia axis, not only we entered, we attacked. And many didn't believe we attacked in Lebanon, and we attacked there as well. In huge power and sophistication that surprised the world. And after all of that, maybe it's better to believe in our way, in our determination, and our commitment to victory.
This guy just looks so evil, bro. And what he's saying it's not that bad. It makes sense. He's the leader of Israel. This is what I would be saying probably if I was the leader of Israel. I probably wouldn't be, talking myself down. But like, what's interesting here is he's like talking about like, okay, well, yeah, there's a ceasefire, but we have no peace with these people. Like we're calling a ceasefire to stop killing and stop blowing stuff up, but we're just waiting until Hezbollah looks at us the wrong way, and when they rearm their weapons, because when they do, we're going back to war with them. Is essentially what he's saying. His narrative from the beginning of this the entire war is, we need to get rid of Hamas. We need to get rid of Hezbollah. We need to get rid of Iran. Netanyahu's goal for this war is not to destroy Gaza, take Gaza. It's not to kill the Palestinians and displace them all. Yes, that might be part of it. It's not to destroy Lebanon and destroy Hezbollah and destroy South Lebanon. Yes, it may be part of it. But the main goal for Netanyahu here in Israel is to take out Iran. It's to take out the threat of an enemy in the Middle East like Iran and remove them from power. Because with Iran there, being friends with North Korea and China and Russia and being tremendously backed by unlimited amounts of money and power in the Middle East, it cripples the United States, cripples Saudi Arabia, it cripples Israel, and they don't like it. So they need to get rid of Iran, and this is their next step. This is their next stage in the Middle East. They've been chipping at the Middle East for the last 30, 40 years now. And you can see with each individual country how they've created civil wars, they've created proxy wars, they've created terror groups like ISIS, Taliban, Al-Qaeda, all United States government-backed groups. These are not random terrorist groups that are started off the religion of Islam, then they like blowing each other up. No. These are groups that were funded and created by the United States, funded and given United States weapons, cars, Humvees, everything you can think of, to go ahead and fight outside sources, to fight the government, to overthrow their powers, and to take control. So that the Middle East would be controlled by hundreds of different little proxy groups. And it would be broken up and split and destroyed. And there would be no sense of power there. And the Middle East can just fall apart, and the United States and the Western countries can come in, and they can eat up the resources, and they can control the land, and they can control the politics, and they can control the economy. And it's very, very sad to see. But this is what's been happening in the Middle East for the last 30 years. And unfortunately, like Benjamin Netanyahu was saying, is he's just waiting for the next chance to go ahead and start blowing these people up again. He's waiting for the next chance for Hezbollah to look the wrong way or to restock the wrong way. And he's going back in. This peace ceasefire, it's cute, but, I mean, what is that going to do for us, right? What is cute going to do for us?
Israel's Security Cabinet approved a ceasefire with Hezbollah, a step toward ending 13 months of fighting with the Iranian-backed militant group.
חיזבאללה בחר לתקוף אותנו משם ב-8 באוקטובר. חלפה שנה. זה כבר לא אותו חיזבאללה. החזרנו אותו עשרות שנים אחורה. אמרתי פעמים רבות, הסכם טוב זה הסכם שאוכפים אותו. ואנחנו נאכוף אותו.
You set it back decades, but you created double the amount of Hezbollah because you just blew up Lebanon, killed a bunch of people, displaced over 1 million people from Lebanon, made them go to Syria, made everyone leave the south. So you just created more soldiers. And within 5 years, you're going to have triple the army ready to blow you up. So it's kind of crazy to me the way he's speaking about it, like, oh, we weakened them and we set them back 10 years. Buddy, in 10 years, they're going to be triple the size. All you did was actually, you set them forward 30 years by setting them back 10. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like a slingshot, almost.
Lebanese officials involved in talks with Hezbollah previously signaled support for the agreement, which they said had been finalized in recent days.
Let's be clear. Israel did not launch this war. The Lebanese people did not seek that war either, nor did the United States.
Israel doesn't want the war. The Lebanese people don't want the war. The United States don't want the war. So Hezbollah woke up in the morning. They were like, you know what? We're bored today. What time is it? It's 2 p.m. Let's go grab all of our guns and weapons and billions of dollars and stuff. Let's just go blow up Jews today. Let's go shoot them. Like, what do you mean Israel doesn't want a part of the war? Israel literally went into Lebanon. Israel started blowing up pagers. What do you mean they don't want a part of the war? Yeah, they want a part of the war. Israel initiated this whole entire thing, if not so from all the way in the beginning on October 7th. Like, who lets a bunch of dirty Arabs who have no intelligence and are using pipe bombs and blow each other up and are dumb and smelly, as the stereotype that they give them, who let a bunch of stupid, dumb, dirty Arabs fly in on bicycles, literally a bicycle, like 3-year-olds that ride bicycles, flying on bicycles, right, motorcycles, with parachutes, and gun down 1,000 people. And you know what the response time of the IDF is? 4 hours. In a country that you can literally drive across in 2 hours. You can drive from north to south Israel in 2 hours. How does it take 4 hours for military helicopters and military vehicles and military personnel and police to show up to a scene when their country is being infiltrated, where people are being taken hostage and shot and killed? The whole entire beginning of this war is so sketchy. The funding that Netanyahu has given to Hamas in the first place is so sketchy. Like, time and time and time again, like, I don't know how else to explain this. Like, the whole entire thing is sketchy. So it's very interesting that Joe Biden says that, like, America, Israel, and the Lebanese people want nothing to do with this war. But yet, they're all involved in the war. They all fund the war. They all are pressing for the war. They have these fake ceasefires and you know, fake, oh, we care about the people speeches. I mean, they might work for some people, but, I mean, most of the world very, very much understands what's happening here, Joe Biden. Yes, Israel wants to go to war. America wants to go to war. No, the Lebanese people don't, because they're the ones that are getting bombs dropped on their head. Not Americans and not Israelis. So
Israel insisted on maintaining the ability to strike should Hezbollah pose new threats in Lebanon. The war began in October 2023, when Hezbollah, in solidarity with Hamas, a US-designated terrorist organization, began missile attacks on northern Israel. It escalated in September when Israel set off waves of exploding electronic devices and killed many senior Hezbollah leaders. Attempts to reach a ceasefire in Israel's parallel war in Gaza have failed despite months of effort.
Just as the Lebanese people deserve a future of security and prosperity, so do the people of Gaza. They too deserve an end to the fighting and displacement.
that's a lie. I love how they say it, like I just said. Like, they like saying it, but they don't like doing anything about it, which is so, so sad. Yeah, ceasefire in Lebanon's great, but you need a ceasefire in Gaza more than anything. Very, very sad what's happened there. The whole entire Gaza is in shambles. It's in rubble. Every single medical industry they have, school they have, everything that they have that's infrastructure-wise that would just allow their whole entire economy to run, people to go to school, people to have health. It's all gone. It's all destroyed. They can't live there. It's not the same as it was a year ago. It's very, very, very sad to see. And we all know Hamas isn't going anywhere. Like, well, how much has Israel really killed in Hamas? But yeah, these are the statistics so far with Lebanon and Israel going into this ceasefire. In Lebanon, 3,800 have been killed. That includes 717 women and 243 children. So as you can see, 1/3 or a little over 1/3. So like, let's say 1/4, little over 1/4. My bad. In between like 1/3, 1/4 of the people who died in Lebanon over the last couple months were women and children. Okay, so very, very interesting. 25% of the deaths accounted in Lebanon are women and children. In Israel, there's been 80 soldiers that have been taken out by Hezbollah and 47 civilians. So very interesting. It's the complete opposite here, where civilian casualties are way, way, way less than the soldier casualties. Where in Lebanon, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. They're literally blowing up in the center of major cities, where Hezbollah will literally target military convoys, military bases, power plants, things like this, and go for that. They have caused $8.5 billion in damages in Lebanon, including 100,000 homes damaged. So 100,000 homes need to be rebuilt over the last month, 2 months there in Lebanon as they're blowing things up. 5,683 acres of land in Israel has been burnt in the north of Israel by Hezbollah. 1.2 million Lebanese people have been displaced, either leaving Lebanon or leaving South Lebanon, completely fleeing from Lebanon. 26,000 people in Israel have been displaced, so nowhere even close. And Gaza, I believe it's way more than that. I believe in Gaza, the whole entire Gaza is displaced, making that 2 million people. Hezbollah had struck 2,454 times, where Israel has struck 13,976 times. So amazing, almost a 4x difference in strikes. Israel has struck Lebanon 4 times the amount as Hezbollah. And may I remind you that Israeli strikes are 20, 30, 40 times the power and the explosive damage as a Hezbollah strike. So this is how the numbers are calculated, and this is why they are going into this ceasefire agreement. And inshallah, hopefully, all of this remains the way that it is. They stop blowing up Lebanon. They stop shooting back and forth. And something ends up happening with these countries and the situation that they're in. I don't see this ending in any other way but a bloodbath. To be completely honest, it's very, very sad for me to say this. And I really, really do want the best. I want the war to stop. I want people to stop dying. I honestly don't even care if Israel is a country and continues what they do. Just stop killing people at this point. But I just don't see this ending well. I don't see Israel just going to be able to just sit there and stand there after what they've done over the last year. The world has been watching. I don't think people are going to forget. I don't think other countries are going to forget. And I don't think this is going to be the last time someone challenges Israel. I think Israel has gained a lot more enemies. I think that we're going into a new world, an electronic world. I think that the United States dollar is collapsing in front of our eyes in real time. And we're going to be moving to a new economic system as well. Everything is changing, and everything is changing so rapidly and so fast. This is not the end of this war. This is not the end of Israel's shenanigans, and I expect to see more and more and more as time goes on. But for right now, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, the killing will stop for a little bit of time in the south of Lebanon. Inshallah, the people can go back to their homes, go back and clean up some of the rubble, fix what they need to fix, and get back to their homes, hang out with their families, and, enjoy the rest of their life as best as they can in this crazy, hectic world. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. God bless every single one of you. Inshallah, everything stays the way that it is. And until next time, free Palestine, free Lebanon, free the entire Middle East, and free the whole entire world from this deception and destruction, from the evils of this world. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. God bless. And until next time, bye-bye.